This is Dave from cheapbooks.com. I'm playing World of Tanks. The tank I am playing is the AMX 1390. It's a Tier 8 French light tank. The map is Abbey. Some people also have referred to this as Monastery. That's the internal name. If you look at replays, it might say Monastery on a replay. Going up this way has an advantage, and the advantage is that you can get to the middle area without being seen from the lower area. If you go up on the west side, it gives you a little bit of an additional safety. You can go further down, I guess is the best way to say it. So I'm going to be doing some spotting. It's a Tier 10 game. I'm a Tier 8 tank, and I'm a light tank. See if there's anything interesting over here that I can hit. Yeah, he's too far away. Okay, let's head for the battle area. So, in a game like this, spotting is difficult. And this is the part where I was talking about where you can cross over without the enemy hitting you. Which is right over here. I can make this crossover to the other side. So I'm going to advance for my team. I'm going to do it on this side. You got to zigzag. You got to do exactly the way I did it. There's really no other way to do it. There's a bat chat. He's a nasty tank. Okay. 2 bat chats. I'm trying to see if there's a place I can go to get some sort of an advantage. As you can see, I'm helping my team. They are advancing because I led the way here. Gotta watch out for that bat chat over there and that waffle maker. Okay, so here we're in a difficult position. We've got the Waffenträger, and I want to hide from him and let my allies go after him. Okay. Here comes the battle. This guy seems... I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my lag, but this guy is definitely bumping into me, that's for sure. Okay, so I was destroyed by fire. He hit my engine. I don't know how he hit my engine unless the engine's in the front of the tank. Well, hopefully I got some spotting damage with the Waffenträger, maybe some of the other tanks. I did help my allies advance through this valley area. That's the proper technique that you use. It would have been nice if I had a better game. My other alternative, I was considering just darting forward and heading to their base. I would have run into that Waffenträger, but he might not have hit me. Who knows? And the other thing I wanted to do, there was like a T-32, which is right there. I wanted to go and nail him. I could have done a lot of damage, but unfortunately you had the bat chats and you had the Waffenträger. There were 2 bat chats, the T-32 and the Waffenträger. It was too many tanks. My game does have lag. On second thought, I think the biggest mistake I made in this game is not going after that T-32. Okay, let's see if there's anything interesting going on. No. So let's go back to the garage. And let's see how this compares with the M5 Stuart. I just came out of a game with the M5 Stuart. I want to see what the results were, and then I'm going to get into battle. I spotted a couple of tanks. How did I do? Well, I did last for damage. Well, that's a no-brainer. Did halfway. I didn't do any damage, but I came up halfway because I was doing spotting damage. I spotted 1,000 for the team. I took 15 shots, but no penetrations. The gun is not strong enough for the tanks I was firing at. So let's check out the M5 Stuart and see how it compares to the 1390. The M5 Stuart is an autoloader, however, it's different than the 1390. The 1390 loads in 4, 6, 8 shells in the magazine, and when you click the button, it fires. But what the M5 Stuart does is it loads once, and when you click the button, it's going to shoot 5 times. It's not going to damage these higher tier tanks unless you get behind them. So if you want to destroy some tanks, you're going to have to either get to their side or get behind them. But in terms of scouting, I can definitely do it with this tank. Not sure what the top speed is, but it's relatively fast. I'm going to see if I can pick up a scouting position. I'm going to go to the same bush I did in the last game.
Let's get this show on the road.
So basically what I did in the last game was I took up a scouting position on the hill. Got to get there, got to cruise to get there. And the bush that I hit on gave me a good view of the enemy. However, it can do the reverse. The same bush can be used to spot the other team. I was coming from the south team on the last game. Now I'm on the north team. So I'm going to see if I can hide in that same bush to scout on the other team, and hopefully they won't see me. Got to make it around this corner. It's going to be very dangerous. But there's the bush. Imagine sitting in this bush undetected. And no one took any shots at me. No enemy artillery. He's aimed right at me. Oh!
Everyone get out.
Okay, so somebody... Oh, okay. What happened was he got close to me. Look how close he is. And so he spotted me because he was just so close. So he snuck up on me, and I didn't get any spotting damage. I didn't see him there. So, but that's the bush that I was hiding when I was spotting the other side. It was very effective. I would have to say, if I had to choose another bush, I'd probably choose that lower bush. I'm going to show you right there. That's right over here. I'm pointing at it in the middle of the screen. Perhaps that would have been a better choice. It's a little further back. Oh, is he hiding behind me? He's hiding right behind me. He's pushing my tank. Either that bush over there, or perhaps where these trees are, there's a bush over there. Maybe one of those bushes up at the top, I don't know. It's possible that one of those bushes up at the top along the blue sky might give you a vantage point over the rest of the area. Maybe the bushes over here, but you got to be careful because... Oh, they're destroying our team. You have to be careful because some of their spotters are very fast and they will find you if you're in the wrong spot. So Moose Ball's over here. You'll notice that his tank is very similar to the one that I was driving. So this looks like a tank destroyer version of the M5, the M5 Stuart. Looks like a very similar chassis. Wow, that was a hard hit. He exploded. M7 and T67. Obviously, they're going to go right into our base. They'll have their way with us. Keep on firing, guys. Keep on firing.
Hydraulics are down.
We're going to see the results, how I did in the bush. We're going to see if I spotted any tanks, if I got any spotting damage. We're going to find out right now. I spotted 3 tanks, and I did get some spotting damage, 230. So it ranked me there for the team. I'm going to get into another game because I want to get that Chaffee. I need 9,700. So back to the 1390. The 1390 leads to a tank called the Bat Chat, which is a Tier 10 autoloader. And it's a tank that people use scouting for clan wars. It's very powerful. However, they have new tanks, the AMX 30 and the 30B, and when those tanks came out, I was like, hey, I'm going to get the AMX 30 and the 30B. But after seeing some Bat Chats recently in action, I think I'm going to go for the Bat Chats first. Okay, now the question is, where do you spot? There's 2 ways that we can spot. We can go to the rock, which is in the middle, or we could go wander around, like we could get in that little island there in the center. I don't know if I'd be able to make it.
Time to roll out.
So I'm going to go to one of these bushes that's kind of in a safe area, just to show you a different position. Might not be effective at all. You could go to those bushes right there in that island. I've done it many times. Because I've been spotted, right now I really have to hide. They've got 4 artilleries. And I've obviously been spotted. So the question is, how do I get into a good position? I'm the only one here. That guy's going to nail me hard. There he is.
Ready to fire.
I, of course, am going to get behind him, which is a smart thing to do.
Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is hit. One of our gas tanks ruptured. We're low on fuel. One of our tracks is damaged. Penetration.
Yeah, because of my lag, it's all over the place.
Enemy armor is hit. Bail out.
I had serious lag, and who knows what's going on with this tank. He's obviously going after the artillery units. I'm going to sneeze right now. Looks like the artillery units found him. I think he got nailed by an artillery. Okay, so that didn't work out. It's going to be difficult because of the lag in the game to get the performance that I need, but I'm going to keep on playing. Get back into this M5 Stuart. Go into battle. And again, you're going to get into high tier games, and it's very, at first it's very intimidating. The secret to playing against the higher tiers is to hide, and that's it. Don't let them find you. Get as many spotting points as you can. This is a tier 4 and a tier 7 game. So I'm going to have to find a spot where I can hide and be able to see the enemy so that it's somewhat productive. So I'm going to head up that mountain over there. Excuse me. And I'm going to take... My allies will probably go to the bridge. They're usually afraid to go past that. I'm going to go up the mountain, get a spot, and I'm going to sit there.
Time to roll out.
Okay, the lag is a little weird. Looks like it's a little bit, you know, it says it's going fast, but it doesn't look like it is. It's really weird. I have to assume that because of the lag, there's going to be discrepancies with information that's being reported. See, I hit to turn and it didn't turn. Okay, so where are we going? Don't hit the trees if you can avoid it. It will slow you down. Gonna find a bush real fast. I think I found the bush I'm looking for. Have no idea which bush is the best bush. I'm just gonna pick this one because it's nearby. And obviously I'm in a dangerous position. They could easily spot me any second now. So I'm gonna sit here. Terrible view. You know, I'm not gonna see anything from over here. I need to relocate. I'm gonna move to that next bush. Oops. Not such a terrible view anymore. Check to make sure I'm in the bush. Okay, that's pretty good. It's not perfect.
Ready to fire. Where'd they go?
The yellow indicates that it would be unlikely that I would cause any damage. Less likely.
Permission to engage. Target lost.
Okay. So they've got an M5 Stuart, they've got the Fury. We're doing pretty good. Haven't spotted anything serious. Maybe I have and don't realize it. There's a T-20. My allies are moving forward, obviously. They're nailing him, but they're not shooting at me. So that indicates that I'm not spotted. So that was successful in terms of hiding. However, do I get any credit for spotting any tanks? I don't know. At some point I'm going to have to move. There's a tank that's sliding down the hill in the distance. I should just go and ram that guy. How about that? And there appears to be a tank to my left, a Panther. Very dangerous.
I don't see the target.
Okay, so those two tanks are now gone. I'm going to go to the enemy base. They've got two T-20s left. Now, I really can't do much against that T-20 other than keep him spotted. So I'm going to try and stay close to him. As you can see, I spotted him. Or maybe someone else did. He's dead now. So we'll see if I got any spotting damage, if I spotted any tanks. We're going to look at the report right now. Wow, I got a lot of spotting damage. And I spotted 2 tanks for the team. I got 1,400 spotting damage. Spotted all those tanks. Now again, I believe this was a Tier 8 game or something like that. Whatever tier it was, for the most part I would not have been able to engage in combat with any of these tanks. The only thing you can usually do, unless you're lucky and get right behind them, usually the only thing you can do is sit and watch the game and spot enemy targets. 474, 285, 35, 53, 96, 458. So don't feel bad about not shooting at enemy tanks and things like that. I'm going to get into another game with the AMX 1390. Usually, I use this tank to spot. It depends on the map. With Hidden Village, it's difficult to spot. There's no bushes to hide in on this map. The tanks are going to be very powerful. In one shot, they'll destroy me. The best I can hope for is to locate the enemy, delay them, and run away. Maybe perhaps go after their artillery unit, which is going to be some fight. You know, they only got one artillery. You got to fight through a lot to get there. So I'm going to take up a position up in the north over here. Well, I call it the north. It's not really the north. To the left, it's actually the west. So I'm going to head that way. I'm going to take up a position and sit there.
Let's go.
And I'm going to take up a position that I think will allow my allies to see what's going on. Flowers. You can see that there's a AMX 1390 ahead of me. This T57 Heavy is also an autoloader that I'll probably have a few months from now. It's still too early for me to get it. That comes from the T69 line, if you're familiar with the T69. Obviously, my latency is causing major problems. I'm having issues driving this tank around. The AMX 1390 is way ahead of me, and you gotta be ahead. I gotta be ahead of him in order to get spotting points. Wow, there's a lot of tanks over there. So now the Allies know that it's safe to advance. Can't really shoot at anybody here. I'm trying to. It's going to be impossible for me to lock onto anybody. I just can't do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. The latency is so bad. It just makes the game unplayable for me. I'm going to do a suicide run. I mean, what choice do I have? Here we go, Mr. Suicide Run. I'm going to head for those Waffenträgers.
Target acquired. Penetration. Enemy is hit. Target unlocked. Permission to engage. Penetration. Ricochet. Critical hit. Our main gun is damaged. It's working, but not very well. We didn't penetrate their armor. We've lost a track.
Okay.
We're dead for. Everyone get out.
It's very difficult to play with the lag, and I didn't know that there was a Foch there also. I didn't destroy the low. I took a couple shots at it, didn't destroy it. I had to do a repair. I ran out of ammunition. So there were a lot of different issues that came up into play. However, I did probably get some spotting damage. And my other option, I was home free. I could have just kept on going and headed for their artillery. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can take out this low. The great thing about the game is that you don't have to worry about dying. You just get into another game. So I don't make a big deal about that. There's other people who might. One thing you can do is you can switch from the armor-piercing rounds to the high-explosive rounds, and you'll be able to do damage to higher-tier tanks. Just small amounts of damage, nothing serious. Redshire. And this is an encounter. I used to know exactly where to spot, but they moved the encounter location. The encounter location used to be in the H8 area, and you used to be able to just go to the J0 area or H0 and pick a bush and watch the whole entire event, but you can't really do that anymore. So I'm going to try and find another location that I can spot from. You want to be at an elevated area, forward, somewhat near the enemy. The other thing we could do is we could try to go after their artillery. Because I have a fast tank, I'm going to go after their artillery. This tank goes 50 kilometers. What I'm going to do is head along the river. It looks like they've got 3 artillery units. They're low tier. Perhaps I'll have some success. Really cruising 60 kilometers. They can't keep up with me. I'm going to take a little shortcut over here. And I could easily encounter enemy tanks. If I do, I'm probably not going to engage them in battle. I'm probably going to just keep on going. If you see an enemy tank, you try to lock onto it and fire at them if you have the ammo, but keep on going. Difficult to drive with the latency. Looks like there's one tank following me. And like I say, what I'm doing is good for the team. If I don't make it through, he'll make it through. There's a Sarl 42, which I know from playing is easy to kill. Okay, so I'm going to go over this hill over here. Yeah, somebody knows I'm here. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what happens when you have lag. High ping time. There's got to be already right there. What the hell was that? That was just absolutely crazy. I mean, y'all saw what happened. That tank just came out of nowhere, and we crashed. That was weird. So I could just only imagine what my tank looked like driving around. 700 millisecond ping time. It's difficult to play a good game with the high ping time, so I'm going to call it quits. I know what's causing the high ping time, and I'm going to have to wait for it to clear. It might be quite a while. So happy playing. If you have any questions, please post them below.